Speed JPO 303 channel for our season opening episode of Season 2 of our Formula 1 26 My Team JPO Career Mode, episode number 25. Now, if you missed the entire first season of the Formula 1 26 My Team JPO Career Mode, be sure to check it out on my live streaming on youtube.com/@speedjpo303. And then leave your links and comments down below, and then tap on my channel, make a donation to youtube.com/@speedjpo303. And then also, if you want to go to twitch.tv/speedjpo303, be sure to do so and follow up to my channel there. And also, if you want to check out AI Giantess videos, you can go to Pavo Morel on Instagram, TikTok at SpeedJPO303, Patreon at Speed Giantess3, and then also go to DeviantArt.com/SpeedJPO3. Well, it's a new season and a new, and we now return back to the Mercedes-Benz engine. So we are no longer with the Audi program. We are now with the Mercedes program for our second season of the Formula 1 26 My Team JPO Career Mode. And we have Carlos Sainz on board and George Russell. And plus 4 new rookies are in place. We have Cordeel, Leonardo Fornaroli, who has now been promoted to Formula 1, Stanek, and Jack Crawford. Yeah, those are the 4 new rookies that we have. This is going to be a great battle for the Rookie of the Year title. Now we have 4 rookies that are in place. Remember, they're from 21st all the way to 24th. These are the new F2 drivers, and finally we get to see the Italian Leonardo Fornaroli now in the Aston Martin, and then the Stanek, and then Jack Crawford, and finally got 2 Americans in place, and now driving for the Cadillac Formula 1 team, but teaming up with a new teammate, Victor Martins. Now, Victor Martins was with my former team. Now he's with the Cadillac Formula 1 team. And then also our defending Formula 1 winner is now going to be a back market this season, Pepe Marti, who is on top of the board, but now is driving for the Audi Formula 1 team. There's been numerous changes, but the only 2 drivers that are missing into the Formula 1 that are now free agents, but we're willing to maybe sign for the final season of our Formula 1 26 My Team JPO Career Mode. We're planning on maybe signing Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli. They are not in Formula 1 in Season 2, but they'll probably be in Season 3 if Carlos Sainz doesn't fail, and then George Russell. We're going to be playing as George Russell all season, see if we can make him a Formula 1 world champion. So the Team JPO45 willing to win the constructors. We are a new team now. We took away the Audi elimination, and now we're from the Mercedes. Alexander Albon now in the McLaren team, now teaming up with Lando Norris, while Oscar Piastri now goes to the Mercedes team to team up with Pierre Gasly. Those are 2 new drivers in there now that George Russell went to Team JPO45, and then and Victor Martins and Carlos Sainz. And then Nico Hulkenberg now moved to Haas. We still got a lot of other drivers in place and everything, but let's see who will be the fastest for the Rookie of the Year title in this beginning of the season. And Sergio Perez is now no longer with Cadillac. He's now with the Haas team with Nico Hulkenberg. Now Lance Stroll stays in place. Fernando Alonso is with the Racing Bulls in the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls team with Lane Lawson. And Ollie Beerman is, now that Lewis Hamilton is retired, now Ollie Beerman is now the new replacement driver for Lewis Hamilton with Charles Leclerc. This ought to be a good qualifying. Let's see how it will set out for the Mercedes. And you know, George Russell has been fast with this Mercedes power engine, and so is Carlos Sainz. And maybe we'll be able to sweep more points into the Constructors' Championship. Victor Martins did a good job on it, but now we have our 2 powerhouse drivers. Well, let's get ready to begin the second season of our Formula 1 26 My Team JPO Career Mode at the Australian Grand Prix at Albert Park Circuit.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
Okay, I hope you brought something good to read today. There's an issue with the fuel system. We don't think it's anything terminal, but it is going to take some time to investigate and repair, I'm afraid.
Well, new season, a lot of new riders out there. Well, let's see how it's going to go. We know that Pepe Marty's Audi is not going to be as fast. You see how slow it is. Well, Carlos Sainz doing a good job out there with the... I hope we could get a lot of poles this season with the Mercedes power rather than it was in the Audi. So good job by our teammate Carlos Sainz, but we'll make sure we don't hit too much when the season starts. And remember, we're going to run this livery car for this race and for the first sprint format
We
race
can push down to P24, mate. Come on.
Also our first full season on the Speed JPO45 channel with this game. I am getting a little bit of subscribers here and there, but there's still a lot more to go. The fastest, minute and 19.573. Man, what a nice job by George Russell, and it's 1-2
okay,
for the Team
radio
JPO45
check.
Mercedes.
Radio check.
Radio check.
Well, Mercedes of power, what a difference a year makes. In our second season, we are now on top of the board, 1-2. Now, this is the first time we have been 1-2. Well, George Russell and Carlos Sainz, we're definitely going to play. We're even 5 car lengths faster than Alexander Albon. What a good start for him. And with this new team with the McLaren. Charles Leclerc, and how about Ollie Beerman? He's going to have a spotlight moment this season with that team. And how about Valtteri Bottas returning back to the Williams Formula One team? Like he was back in the late 10s, in the late 2010s. Valtteri Bottas used to be with Williams, and he did such a great job with Williams, and he did a little bit more better job with Mercedes. Yeah, but I'm trying to take a look at how Williams, and Roman Stanek has been. He barely made it in. Remember, he's the new rookie for the Williams team, and well, Pepe Marty, Cordeel, Victor Martins. Well, it looks like Cadillac Formula One team are going to be the back marker this season, and the same goes with our slow Audis. And now the Audis are just the dang slow with the minute and 22, with Franco Colapinto up front. Yeah, too bad to see it happen, but you know, it's a different year. We got a new, we have a new engine, and see if we can try to get faster again here in the second qualifying round.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Also can't wait for 3.5 weeks away from the NASCAR 26 game coming out. Well, Charles Leclerc got the fastest now. see that outline right behind
We've dropped to
us.
P17. P17.
Tried to step out of our steam. And Colapinto does. That's good sportsmanship by Colapinto. Well, we got P5, but we're going to have to get a little bit faster and get that grass and pavement off of there because we got a little bit too slow on that. It was a little bit too slow. Wow, and Carlos Sainz got a minute 18.695. But we still hold up in the P5, but what a good job for Carlos Sainz. Got a minute 18.695, but we can get faster than that. And it looks like the fastest rookie right now is Leonardo Fornaroli in the Aston Martin. Remember, they run Honda engines on that car. So Fornaroli is now the fastest rookie in the field. And Franco Colapinto almost made it, but Alexander Albon barely got it. Good job for Ocon and Hodger in the Red Bull Racing Ford. And I feel so sorry about Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli, but they'll be back when we do our final season of the Formula One. Remember, this is an expansion pack. This is not a brand new game. And Piastri and Gasly are now 4th and 6th. Well, let's see if it will be Sainz and or George Russell for the final qualifying session. Just need to get it a little bit quicker and stay out of the gravel. And maybe that's what slowed us down a little bit.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Man, what a great start for Carlos Sainz and the Mercedes power. And he did it again with a minute 18.575.
That's 5 minutes to go.
Didn't quite get it. I guess I slowed it down a little bit too much coming off of the final stretch. But it's a minute 19.013. Well, it looks like Carlos Sainz may be on his way, getting his pole position for the Team JPO45, but that's good for him.
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Man, Carlos Sainz is going to look excellent this season with the Team JPO45. This could be his best season ever, better than he's done better with the Scuderia Ferrari, but let's see how season 2 will go for Carlos Sainz. So we'll start in P3. Well, we could have made it into a 1-2 punch, but the first and third, not too bad. Lando Norris is in fourth, Bierman the fifth. Look how fast we are than all the others after the regulation change that we made. And I think we're going to be the two fastest cars out there, and I think McLaren is going to be fast, and also Charles Leclerc. This is going to be a great dominating performance for the Australian Grand Prix. All right, we are set and ready to go for episode number 25. Carlos Sainz is pumped up. George Russell is pumped up. We are ready to go to begin the second season of our Formula 1 26 My Team JPO career mode. 58 laps of pure fast racing at Albert Park Circuit at the Australian Grand Prix. Let's hope it handles a little bit more better. Let's get ready to begin season 2.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Norris, Ollie Behrman and Albon, Piastri, Gasly, Ocon and Isaac Hadjar, Colapinto, Bottas, Sergio Perez and Fornaroli, Stanek, Alonso, Gabriel Bortoleto and Liam Lawson, Cordeel, Hulkenberg, Pepe Marti, Stroll, Martins, and Jack Crawford rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. So a new driver signed for next season, which is good news all round. Or is it? Halfway through a campaign, How does a team cope with that?
During
Yeah,
the
it's a
next
really
race, when we
aggressive
go to the
decision, and to
Chinese
announce
Grand
it that
Prix, we are
early,
gonna be,
I guess you kind of
changing
raise the
numbers,
question, why did they do it?
number
But this
colors
is a
a little
driver
bit
that's
better.
really sought after, so I kind of understand why they would want to bag
get
that
that,
driver as
situated,
early as possible.
for the
But
next
hopefully
run
for
when
them,
we
that
go
doesn't
to,
cause too much distraction,
China
and they make sure they
for
keep their
episode number
team right
26.
now motivated until the end of the season.
All right, second season.
All right, let's have a
about
quick
to
radio
begin.
check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So we'll be hearing from George Russell's voice all season long as he gets ready for the 2020 Formula 1 26 My Team JPO career mode. Let's see if we can try to make him as a world champion and see what Carlos Sainz does. So we're going to start off with the medium tires. Some of the others are going to go with the hard tires. Maybe we might be going for a one tire strategy. And how about the fastest rookie, Leonardo Fornaroli, now with the Aston Martin team, starting in P14. We'll see how the others do, and I think we're going to be the two fastest cars out there, and I think Leclerc will be fast, and then Norris. But some of the others are going to be quite slow out there. So let's see how it will settle. So we might make it on a one-stop strategy. So we might go for the first 27 laps under the medium tires, and then go the last 31 laps on the hard tires. And it's going to be a beautiful day here at the Australian Grand Prix. No rain inside, no weather to worry about, just pure, beautiful racing here, and a beautiful day at the Australian Grand Prix. And let's begin the second season of our Formula 1 My Team JPO career mode at Albert Park. Yeah, I was doing online yesterday for the NASCAR 25 game because I was just getting prepped up for that NASCAR 26 game coming out in the next 3.5 weeks. And I did win an online game. I was when they were doing their last on the Xbox. I was racing against Gowan. If you met Gowan, he was on the YouTube page, and he's also prepping up for the NASCAR 26 game as well. He's the NASCAR 25 game. Remember, we're going to be uninstalling that on September 5th. Let's put the race stats in and everything else while we get done.
Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Keep an eye on the lights.
All
The
right,
start
we are ready to
sequence
go.
will
Here we
begin
go.
as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
And we are off and underway here at the Australian Grand Prix. And we easily got around the car and we move up into second. It's now 1-2. And a
Okay, so overtake mode active. We'll get some extra power from the hybrid system now. Use boost on the next long straight to get past. Okay, overtake enabled. Boost mode is available now.
What a good start to the event for Team JPO45. And you know, all season long in season one, we have not had 1-2 finish yet. These may be the race to do today. They created a miraculous start here. Russell is faster than his teammate Carlos Sainz. A little bit of touching there. Nice job by George Russell. He gets by his teammate Carlos Sainz, and now he's leading.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Look how far we pulled away from third place in the rest of the field. They're already about 5 seconds. Once he moves up into third, he passes around on the third. cat and mouse game between the two Team JPO45s, the Ford Mustang and Powerhouse Sainz. Look at this, now Sainz on the outside. Another truck with more power and more boost on that engine. Oh my goodness. Man, that was so close. This is so much fun between that time. That's to avoid when we're not hitting each other. I'm not going to pass them. And this is the first time that we're a team that has been better than us. But now we're going to have the boost.
Okay, so that's boost mode available if you need it. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
The Audi for the slowest in the field. Let's take that shot on the rookie. We already caught up on those two first of the back markers. One of the Audis.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 2.1 seconds.
Definitely pulling away that Audi must have had wing damage. Cordeel, and that's Mr. Martini, and one of the slowest Cadillacs, the second slowest Cadillac in the field. They're already pulling away from Martini, Carlos Sainz, and we're already seeing pit stops right now in place. Mr. Martini was top 10 in the first game, and he used to be with that team. He's up to a back marker before he goes with the Cadillac. I think it's going to be a good season for Mr. Martini in that new Cadillac team.
Gap to your teammate behind, 6.7 seconds.
racing start for the Team JPO45 Mercedes. Does go into the pit.
Carlos is in for his stop now. Okay, we can take you this lap.
And our defending champion, now Pepe Martin, is down to slow back off for running in 19. Safety. Just want to put 26 tires in a steady pace.
Okay, let's go
Nice
now.
stop,
Come on.
guys.
That was a
That's what we want to see
fantastic
all
stop,
season
faster
long.
than we were expecting. All right, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
The new ride with the Ferrari taking the tires, Lewis Hamilton. Kenny taking Sunday morning now goes into the pit, and Joe Crawford is absolutely full lion out there with this Mercedes. Got another impressive lap of 21.217.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 11.0 seconds.
Had a little bit of a moment there over Fornaroli. look to try to maintain that second position spot of the strong third. And the only thing now that we have Junior and their tires, we have one more pit stop to go. And that's when we're going to change over to the hard, give it the rest of the way in the final 18 laps. And then try to settle in what could be our first Grand Prix finish in our second season of our Formula 1 My Team JPO45. Finally, this is a 1-2 punch right here from Team JPO45. Bringing in these two of our powerhouse drivers, Kurt Russell and Carlos Sainz. As Crawford from the 15th, so he's got himself very good on this new race car in the 15th position.
Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Moment Stanek made a rookie mistake and couldn't even get George Russell out of the way.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
bit of a front wing damage, but the car is still rolling well. Russell and Carlos Sainz are going to be the only two cars that are going to be left on the lead lap. They're still trying to hold on to the car on lap 39. Not able to make it into the hard tires in the final 18 laps.
approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
And the two fastest Formula 1 cars out of Team JPO45 has been on a dominating roll here at the Australian Grand Prix. Leading by about 15 seconds right of our teammate Carlos Sainz for our 1-2 finish at Australia to make a good start of our second season of the Formula 1 My Team JPO.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Yeah, happy.
Carlos is in the pits.
Carlos comes in. See what he's going to put on. Doesn't have a much sizable lead. He's trying to keep this a 1-2 quick finish. And a terrific start for the Team JPO45 in Australia.
Don't forget, box this lap.
Take a little longer to get that wing change. And that was very bad contact with the Morgan Stanek.
Right, let's go, come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
We will get him all Victor Martinez to the back.
Gap to your teammate behind, 9.7 seconds. Job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Yellow flag.
Wow, what a great his first try with the Alpine Racing team.
Okay, clear. Tyre condition still looking good. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race.
George Russell absolutely flying like a sorcerer here at Audi car. Leading by about 13 seconds, and it's still a 1-2 punch by the Team JPO45 Mercedes. double attack mode. First race with George Russell and Carlos Sainz, and they are oscillating. They are oscillating 1-2 bang at the Australian Grand Prix. Presenting champion Kevin Martin, the February season that Audi was racing. Doesn't seem to be a little ride, but it was an Audi power. I'm very glad that the first season we got the job done. There's definitely going to be a big changeover for Oxford Piastri with the Mercedes team. A big game changer. Going out of the corner and now going to the Mercedes team with Pierre Gasly. Australian Grand Prix. In our first ever 1-2 punch, this second season, we didn't have any 1-2 punches in the first season, but the second season, it looks as though it may look that way. Carlos Sainz to hold on in the last 10 laps of the race. We are outlapping everybody in the field.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Oh man, I just picked up our team. But this time, the doesn't get damaged. I just put a new wing on this car.
Right, our best lap so far, 1:20.8. A few laps because we're on the closing stages here at the Australian Grand Prix. The first one for Cordeel to race up. He has that. We're just going to take off and just do that again. I know we were left to race off in the first Cadillac, but that one there was just a little bit of a noise. Not enough to force a win there. Right, that second win was a lot stronger than the first win. Just deciding just to let go, so he does go a lap down.
Cordeel is going to be left and going 3 laps down. He is the slowest game in the field. He only had 1 car out of the lead, so it's plenty of car control. We got 2 more laps to go at the Australian Grand Prix. Looks like we're on our way to getting our first ever 1-2 finish. We're leading by about 29 seconds for the Carlos Sainz, and he does have enough to make this a 1-2, our first ever 1-2 finish with these 2 cars. Stanek will be the fastest rookie in the field. He is the first lead. Here we are, the final lap.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
The Albert Park circuit. 1 more to go. There's one of the dominating races in George Russell. So he ran a beautiful race, and same goes for Carlos Sainz. He ran a beautiful race as well. Leading up the race in the beginning, they were doing it, acting each other, and then George Russell just blew away the whole field. Down for him. Had a good start to pass the in the field, and Stanek is going to be able to accomplish that. And this is going to be a nice battle for the rookie of the year, so it's going to be kind of a full rookies in the field. Few more corners to go, and George Russell will be right home and then winning this race. As he comes around to the final third, what a job, and we're going to get our first 1-2 finish for the Team JPO45. An amazing start for the Team JPO45 team as we win Australia. What a win by George Russell.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing, mate. Well done.
Finally, we get our first 1-2 finish. Sure is. Good job for the Team JPO45
We've seen a brilliant display of the
great
Russell
driving
hustle. It's
for
George Russell who
and
wins.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head, and they now know that you are the one to beat.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. And taking his place on the top step of the podium, he gave it some hustle. Well done to George Russell.
And a fascinating job, and finally getting these 2 proteges into our team. And it was well done for both George Russell and Carlos Sainz.
And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Excellent start for the excellent start so far for the Team JPO45 team, as we got a 1-2 finish. And George Russell started from third, and then what a good job for pole sitter Carlos Sainz getting second place finish. And there were only 3 cars on the lead lap because we were so blazing fast out there. And Charles Leclerc finishes in third. Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri gets the top 5. over Ollie Bierman and then Pierre Gasly. Good job for the Mercedes, 5th and 7th place. And a great recovery for Valtteri Bottas. And he gets his first points of the season with the Williams. And then Alexander Albon drops to 9th, and Azekatcher rounds up the top 10. Can you believe both French drivers driving the Red Bull Ford? They got 10th and 11th. And an excellent job by Roman Stanek, who is now leads the Rookie of the Year point standings, but he doesn't get any points because he didn't make it to the top 10. So this is a great start. So it's a 1-2 punch. So that means we get 43 points, and already 20 points already to the Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, and then Williams rounds up the top 5. Man, what an excellent race for George Russell. Even though a few bangs on the wing, but no problem at all. The Mercedes car was absolutely quick, and finally we got a 1-2 finish. And then we got on the outside of Charles Leclerc on the second lap of the race, but there was no turning back from there. And this was the dual battle between our two new drivers, Sainz and Russell. Man, look at this battle. I thought we were going to have this all throughout this race, but then when he slowed down a little bit, then we just took off from there. We took off in a hurry and run away like a freight train. And look at that pass on the outside, and then there was no turning back from there. So a little bit of wing damage on repairs for Sainz and Russell, but it didn't cost that much. But we have plenty of money in place.
Hey, me again. Got another question for you.
Man, what a good job we've done for our second season of our Formula One My Team JPO career mode. Brilliant weekend and spectacular 1-2 race finish at the Australian the Grand Prix. We're going to run the same car and the same prescription in the next race in episode number 27 when we go to the Chinese Grand Prix. Well, actually, episode number 26. So a great start here in our Formula One second season in Australian Grand Prix with a 1-2 punch. What an excellent job and an excellent car that we had all throughout this race. Now we have 2302. Let's see if we need to do some research and development. That way we can put everything back into place. We got 5 more to go until we get it all completed. And we can put one more in that slot too. We're almost done with the powertrain. Ferrari is closing in on us, Mercedes and then Audi and then McLaren, but the Audis didn't even do well. They were supposed to be the forefront of performance, but they didn't show any signs of moving in. Well, tremendous job at the Australian Grand Prix, our first ever 1-2 punch in our Formula One 26 My Team JPO career mode. And an excellent job for both drivers, and they impressed the hell out of me when we had fast cars out there. And we did an excellent job, and what a great job. Can we try to make another 1-2 again in the next race at the Chinese Grand Prix in our first sprint format race of the season? And can we try to put it well and then make it a perfect outing in the next one in the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai? So great job here in our Formula One. A nice start at the Australian Grand Prix for our second season of Formula One. We've always had fabulous starts in Australia and season openers in Bahrain in the past. And these guys did a tremendous job. So thanks everyone so much for watching on the Speed JPO 303 channel. And we'll see you then tomorrow for more Formula One action in our first sprint format race of the season at the Chinese Grand Prix at Shanghai International Circuit. Good night, everyone. Take care. We'll see you then.